let's have a blessed World Contraception Day, and let's allow our young people, our women and men to make their right reproductive choices.
Happy World Contraception Day.
Happy World Contraception Day.
Wow, thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. My name is Pauline Wasa from Ramka Network, an organization that advocates for maternal, newborn child and adolescent health. And in regards to the World Contraception Day, which is always marked on every 26th September of every year, we want to have a conversation around reproductive health and contraception. We understand that access to contraception is a very critical aspect in regards to the health and well-being of every individual, more specifically the youth. But still, there are some barriers that are hindering the youth and people from accessing these contraceptions. So today we just want to explore these barriers. We want to look at the possible available options and also emphasize on the importance of allowing someone to make a choice that favors them. So today I'm very much honored to have special guests who have joined me for this conversation. We have a sexual reproductive health expert, we have a community health promoter, and we have a youth advocate for maternal and newborn health. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
You can introduce.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Millicent Kiplai. I work with the Department of Health in Bungoma County. I coordinate a program known as Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health, Gender-Based Violence and Early Childhood Development. And I'm honored to be here this day to discuss something that is so passionate to me, something that is impacting on the health of the woman and the community at large. And I'm looking forward to sharing insights and ideas that will be able to improve access to contraception among the population. Thank you.
Okay, mi naitwa Sophia Omondi. I'm a youth advocate from RMNCH network, na nimekuja hapa ku represent the youth on matters affecting their health, specifically their reproductive health today. RMNCH deals with maternal health, yes, but today niko hapa sana juu ya the reproductive health of the.
My name is Farisi Barasa. I'm a CHP. I'm the person who works on the ground. So today, I'm also honored to be here to participate in this program of contraception, and which is something we are doing on the ground. And I'm very much honored also to know that the same is also in accord with the laws of the human rights, because it gives space for someone to choose what he wants or she wants.
Asante sana, karibu sana. And just to start us off, we all know that this year's theme is a choice for all, freedom to plan and power to choose. So what is your take on this year's theme, Madam Kiplai?
Thank you so much. First of all, I would just want to give a brief history of the World Contraception Day. Like Pauline indicated, this is an annual event that is celebrated globally. The first World Contraception Day was celebrated in the year 2007. And the idea behind the whole thing is to just give information to improve access to contraception, which is a right. And in the Kenyan context, this is recognized in Article 43 of the Constitution, Section 1, Part A, which indicates that every Kenyan has a right to the highest quality of healthcare services, including reproductive health. So basically, we are talking about what is rightful for every Kenyan. And when you talk about issues around contraception, it is not just about the woman. Contraception requires that couples agree on what they want. And nothing captures it better than this year's theme, a choice for all, freedom to plan, and power to choose. it captures the whole thing superbly, because as much as the Constitution gives us the right, there are also so many factors on the ground which determine whether this right is being respected for us. Couples, like when people get married, let me first of all talk about those ones in marriage. Couples normally will set their reproductive goals. They'll discuss and say we would want to have maybe 5 children, 10 children. And the essence of contraception is that we are not saying we want every couple to have 2 children. No. The choice of the number of children that you are going to have depends on you as individuals. Of course, looking at the resources that you have. And you'll be able to choose the number of children that you'll be able to feed, clothe, educate, and of course provide the basic needs. So it is up to the couple to set their reproductive goals. And us as a Department of Health, we have an obligation to the people of Bungoma to provide them a platform where they can be able to make those choices by availing contraception in all our health facilities. A task which the county has taken very seriously, and if you walk into any of our health facilities in the county, all the 177 public facilities and some of the private facilities, of course with the exception of the faith-based Catholic facilities, you will be able to get all the services that a client deserves. So we are actually expanding the platform for them to choose how many children they want to have, and at what interval, and which contraceptive method they want to use. And before they arrive at the choice of a contraceptive method, then it is the obligation of the Department of Health, the healthcare providers in our facilities, to provide the information about all the methods that we have. That is key, that the client has information regarding what is available. It's like they are walking into a hotel, so they are given a menu. This is what we have. What do you want to take? So we are giving them all the available methods, choices, and then out of that, then they can pick on what suits them. Okay? Then number 2, we are looking at the young people who are not all in marriage, the adolescents and the youth. And they equally have a right to services. Because you look at our national adolescent reproductive health policy, it gives the client, that adolescent who is sexually active, a right to contraception. So if an adolescent or youth feels like they cannot abstain, of course abstinence is a choice. And for us as a department, we'd always want to, like when you're starting a conversation with the young people, we'd want to know, are you able to abstain?
Yes.
And if you're not able to abstain, then which available options are there for you on the table? Okay? So we encourage the young people, just come to our facilities. We have qualified healthcare providers who will give you the information, and out of that information, you can make a choice. Okay?
Yes.
And as spelled out in the theme, I think that is the way to go. Thank you.
That was a very insightful insights, and for the youth. So if you want to what does the theme speak to you?
Okay. Madam Kiplai, I'm exhausted. Kila kitu kutoka kwa history. 3 things which I feel like it may include a lot of things in all of it this year. Ukiona the first one, which is the what?
A choice
for all. Yeah. It gives the youth, me for example, the capacity to be able to go to a healthcare provider to choose the kind of contraception I want. If I want pills or maybe barrier methods, me choose the one I want. There's a variety, but I can choose. And then the second one, that is freedom for all. You can choose the number of years, the period of time that you'd like to plan for your You plan for your for controlling. Okay, so contraception. And then the last one was what? The power to choose. Now I can go to a healthcare provider. Nimwambie mimi I would like to use this contraceptive. Aniambie no, you considering maybe hauna mtoto bado, we can advise that you use this and this. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who is choosing the one that I would like to use. So I feel like it may include a lot of things which is working for the youth right now.
I think I just want to echo what she has said.
Yes.
And we appreciate the fact that we are providing that platform. But at the end of the day, what we are saying is that the responsibility of the healthcare provider is not to advise. We are giving information.
Yes.
After giving the information, it is now up to the client, to the youth, the adolescent, the client, to make that choice based on their own individual needs. Yeah. So that's what I just wanted to clarify. We don't advise, we give information.
Yes. Just before you move to Madam Faris, Madam Kipla, you have mentioned about people being able to make a choice, but you'll find a situation where someone identifies a certain method that works for her, and she uses that for a period of time. But when she, for example, let's say an injection for 3 months, then when she goes to that facility again, and she finds that it is out of stock, and now she has to change and use what is available. What can you say about that?
It is true that sometimes we have issues with stockouts, and I want to say this: it is not our desire that our clients come and miss their methods of choice. Sometimes it is issues around the supply chain management, that you have made an order, but the supplier maybe delays or doesn't have that particular type of commodity that you have requested for. So sometimes it happens that we run out of stock of commodities. And okay, I know that is infringing on the client's rights, but then it reaches a point then when we have no other option. You've come for ugali, but ugali is not there. I have chapati, I have mchele, I have... Because at the end of the day, I want you to leave my clinic, my hotel satisfied. But that is not the best way to go. That the way we want it to happen is that when you walk into the facility, you have the information and you want a particular contraceptive, then you should be able to get exactly what you want. So it is the desire of the Department of Health to ensure that commodities are available at all time. But sometimes things happen that are beyond our ability to control.
Okay, now back to our gentleman in the room. So, being a community health promoter, what has been your role in linking the youths to these facilities so that they don't have any problem, maybe in regards to information, in regards to distance, and also like just creating awareness? And I would also love to know what has been the societal buy-in, because we understand that in our society we find that many parents, they are not open to allow their children to go for those contraception. So what has been their buy-in?
Yeah, there have been so many challenges, as you say, in the communities. In most cases, even up to now, parents to some degree are opposed to the idea of contraception with their children. But all we do, sometimes we talk to them, because we have what we call household visitations. So whenever we go in households, we talk almost on every array of anything. So sometimes we get when people, some youths are pregnant, others have just born from the home and what have you. So it brings in this discussion of saying how we can do or what we can do maybe to avert such like situations. So what normally happens, we usually tell them there is support or there is help in every way. If anyone wants any type of service, the type of service can be available. So, you know, we are working on 2 levels. Like we on the ground, we don't have that, or working on that experience, like what Madam Kibaya has been saying, because she has been talking of on the expert level. But we are only to link. So we just identify when there is need, we talk to them, and after they have accepted to call maybe and call to any nearby health facility, it's from that health facility that they will be told the truth of every type of contraception. You know, they tell them the advantages and disadvantages. After they have maybe gone to that extent, is now the role of the client to decide which way she wants to be helped. But in most cases, I see that most of the youth now are buying the idea, because these issues of maybe teenage pregnancy in Bungoma, as you have already overheard, are very much on the rise, and it has now been a responsibility of every player at least to go about and see how we can work to reduce the same. So as a CHP, I'm also working to reduce the same through organizing some sessions of girls. We talk to them. Sometimes we go to school visitations. Like in the last week, I remember I was on my primary school where I schooled. That was Karame Primary, where I just asked the KMET team plus some healthcare givers from our facility in Mechimeru, where we all converted the school and talked to the like 171 girls who saw the program as very much eye-opening, and they were at last they were very much free to ask questions, and many of them even promised now to visit the facility to go and see to it that these problems of maybe teenage pregnancy and what have you cannot come, and that only happens when they have accepted to go in for contraception. We also told them of the different ways of contraception, because the KMET team have also equipped us with some various things to show, like this way, these things which are used, like for example, different ways, like using condoms, like using these long-term implants, like maybe some abstinence, as maybe the madam has also said. We also have Tepoprovera. So these are some of the things we show the girls, and after we have told them they feel they should go now for the service, we also allow them to go and ask for themselves to be given the full information so that they decide which way to go. On the ground, I think we are working, we are referring, and we are sending them to the health facilities to do that.
And we really acknowledge those efforts. So, Madam Kiplai, you had mentioned initially on the Constitution. You say the Constitution allows every citizen to have an access, to not just an access, but quality access to these services. But now you find that we have conflicting policies whereby the Constitution allows, but now you find that the facilities demands that an adolescent is accompanied by a parent for you to get those services. So I don't know what you can say about that, and putting in mind that in Bungoma County, yes, we are really trying, but we don't really have youth-friendly centers to offer the youth-friendly services. So I don't know, what can you say about that?
Thank you so much, Pauline, for bringing that up. I know issues around policy have been a bit controversial, and I just want to mention this, that the Kenya National Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health Policy 2015 is currently under review, and some of the key issues that are being handled are the issues of consent. But again, now when you come to the ground, you mentioned Bungoma County has had a very high number of teenage pregnancies, and sometimes you may get girls as young as 15 years already in marriage. So the issue of consent is a bit controversial, because look at that situation of a 15, 16-year-old girl already in a marriage. Then how do you go seeking the consent of their parents, and they are already in marriage? And technically, if you look at the Constitution, it's an illegality that a girl of 15 years is in a marriage. That is a minor. But truth be told, that is what is happening on the ground. So there is a challenge when it comes to issue of policy. And we are hoping that as we work on the policy, the one under review, some of those conspicuous issues will be addressed. Okay. But at the end of it all, we have the Constitution and we have the policy. Among the two, which is superior? Definitely it is the Constitution. And the Children's Act, I know, has been up in arms, especially on issues contraception. But again, if you look at it critically, the fact that anything that is done at the best interest of the child. If you do anything, do it for the best interest of the child. So this girl may be 17, already in a marriage. She's coming to deliver her third baby at 17 years. And it is a reality. It's not something that we are... Si story ya jaba. Si story ya jaba. Ni kweli. So we need to assist this girl. She's coming to deliver her fourth child. Definitely that one is going to take a toll on her health. And looking at the fertility period of a woman, this is a woman who will possibly give birth, given the opportunity, he may give birth up to 20 children.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if this individual recognizes the fact that now she needs a contraceptive, so that she doesn't have another baby, then as a healthcare provider, you have an obligation to offer the contraceptive method. Yeah. But we recognize the fact that there are issues around the policy, but at the end of the day, what the healthcare provider does should be at the best interest of the child.
Thank you so much, Madam Kiplay, for that. And Sophie, we welcome agency coming from an organization that advocates for maternal, newborn child and adolescent health. What has been your contribution? You realize that Madam Kiplay mentioned sometimes in the facility they face stockouts, and that I can only attribute it to inadequate investment in family planning. So what has been your role as an organization that advocates for these issues to push for agendas that can prompt more investment in family planning?
Okay, as a youth advocate privileged to work under such an organization, I can say personally, I've identified a gap. Like, yes, there's issues that are beyond control, but the youth are accessing these contraceptives. The issue is misinformation. Mimi nakuja kwa Pauline ametumia depo imefanya Pauline akona figa. Sasa pia mimi nataka kutumia hiyo depo yenye Pauline ametumia, so pia mimi nikuwe na figa. Nikienda kutumia hiyo depo yenye umetumia, napata it's working differently for me. Mimi maybe nakonda, na bleed sana, unaona? So as a youth, that is what I have identified, that the youth are accessing these contraceptives, especially the urban areas. Or rural areas, maybe they may not, maybe the access to information could be a problem. But right now, as a Ramka youth advocate, we've identified CHPs. We've mentored the CHPs to how to handle the youth syndrome. Yes, how to handle the youth on issues of contraception. So as much as kuna pia uko kwa ground, as much as kuna issues the societal norms wasi access nini, I feel like there's still stigma among the youth in the rural areas who are accessing, not even in the rural only, at our side, accessing this contraceptives. Juu utapata umeka, maybe you have used a certain contraception, but sasa unakuwa stigmatized, ule ameka sijui gani, huyu anatumia, unaona. Sasa they wanataka kuficha, wanaweka wakijificha ficha, mwana atumie pills, ama basi wasitumie, watumie pull and pray. You pull and then unaenda huko unaomba church period zikuje after 3 months. Unaona, sasa wanaamua basi hata situmie, unaona. So as a youth, I identified that, and I can say we have dealt with these issues. The rural who access information, we are using the CHPs to access for the youth to access that information. But I feel like now there's misinformation in this contraception use. Yes.
Now, like sasa vile umesema, you find that is a milestone when you train CHPs, but I know there are challenges. Maybe you are trying to push for more investment, like now for Ranka, we are implementing a project on vital signs profile for stronger primary healthcare. The main aim of that project is to push for more investments in primary healthcare level 1, 2 and 3. But sasa unapata where hizo levels they don't have the resources, and you're advocating and at the higher level to invest in those. How do you, it is kind of a challenge, because you are pushing for that agenda for them to invest in those levels, but now they are not investing there, and maybe the youths from those areas, they are supposed to go to big facilities to get those services.
I think I leave for Madam Kiplan.
Thank you. She has brought up very key issues. One of them is the issue of misinformation. The other one is the issue of access. We know something unique about the young people is that they value their privacy, and they want the issues to be handled in confidentiality. And based on our experience, we find that most of the young people would prefer to go and get their contraceptives over the counter.
Yes.
And over the counter, most of the time, they may not get the right information. And that is where we get it wrong. When you get a method and you use it wrongly, you'll end up with a lot of issues.
Yes.
Like she mentioned, somebody may use a particular contraceptive method, and they are very much okay. Then somebody else uses that particular method and they have side effects. So to address that kind of misinformation, so we would like to sit down and give you all the information. And as we give you that information, we are telling you each one of us is a unique individual. I may use Depo and I'm comfortable. The other person uses the Depo and she's not comfortable. So there's no like one size to fit all. Each one of us is a unique individual. So one, we want to address this because most of our young people are going to the chemist, they're buying over the counter. As a county, through some of our partners, and especially KMED, we have brought on board the pharmacists within Bungoma in a program known as the Sapphire Project. So this one, we are bringing the people who are running private clinics, people who are running private pharmacies, so that we get to bring them to a level where they can be able to give the information, they can be able to handle these young people and even refer appropriately where they are not able to handle the issues that come up with the use of contraception. And I think we are picking on that. I want to appreciate Fares and team. The CHPs are a very crucial component of the health delivery system. And now that we are going the primary healthcare way, their role is cemented. They are going to play a very critical role, being that they are in direct contact with the community. That is where the rubber meets the road. So Fares will appreciate that we have partners within the ground who have supported us in sensitizing the CHPs on issues around the SRH and issues around contraception. We have CHPs who are champions of family planning, champions of SRH, because we appreciate the important role that they play. So basically what we are saying is that we are trying to address issues of misinformation, myths and misconceptions using all the resources that we have. So once we have a team that is all informed, when a young person comes to the facility, whether it is a private facility, it is a public facility, it's a chemist or a private clinic, we want uniform information. We are giving you this method and this is how it works. These are the side effects that you'll expect from using this method, and which are the danger signals that when you're using this method and you develop 1, 2, 3, you need to seek immediate action, because we appreciate that the contraceptives are drugs, and every drug has side effects. So it is nice for them to know that when we are using this method, there's a possibility that we may develop 1, 2, 3, and which signals should prompt us to seek attention of an expert with an immediate effect. So that way then we shall be able to address. And you know, when a client is informed, they tend to use the method longer. You know, it will be very sad if, like, I gave an implant to a young person today without proper information, and then she comes back for removal after
maybe some
2
weeks.
after 3, after a month. And you know, this is a serious investment that has been put in place by our donors. And then you are using it for just 2 months when it was meant for 5
Yes.
years. So if somebody had given you the right information, then possibly you would not have chosen this method. You'd have gone for another one, and then this method would have benefited somebody who would have used it longer. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
now, Madam Kiplai, just another question. Is it possible for someone to find a challenge? For example, she tries this method, it doesn't work. She tries this, it doesn't work. Like, is it possible that you find those scenarios?
It's a trial and error.
No, it is. I want to say this.
Yeah.
It is not trial and error. What we are saying is that we have various contraceptive categories. There are contraceptives which have hormones in them. When I talk of hormones, I'm talking of progesterone and estrogen, which are normally natural hormones within a woman's body. And then there is a type of contraceptive method which does not contain hormones. Okay?
Yes.
And then we have the permanent methods. That is bilateral tubal ligation for women and vasectomy for men. And we have the barrier methods, the condoms, the diaphragm, the patches, and the rest. So, if this one doesn't suit you, there's always a second alternative. But the issue with our clients is more of psychological.
Psychological, yeah.
Okay?
In my head.
Yeah, in my head. Somebody just decides now this one doesn't work. And this comes about because somebody does not have the right information. So if I came for depot and I'm given 2 injections and my periods disappear. If somebody did not tell me that one of the side effects of depot is amenorrhea, then I would go crazy because now how am I pregnant or what is happening? Yeah. So such things may happen. Depot can cause a lot of bleeding, especially the first few months.
Yes.
So if this client is not well informed, alienda tu na akapewa method, then anasema this one imenikata. The next month she's moving to pills. She takes pills for 2 months, she's feeling dizzy or hii pia imenikata. She goes for something else. That is lack of proper and the right information. If you have the right information, you will choose a method that suits you and you use that method longer because you understand it well. Yeah.
I'm really getting a lot of information here, and in future when I grow up and I decide to try these things, I have the right information to.
Sure.
Yeah, so Sophie, from Ramka Network, this organization has been there for a very long time, close to 6 years, right? And it has made significant milestones. And in regards to family planning, what is that milestone that we can say that, voila, we did this and it resulted to something good, and you're proud to say that?
Okay, usually we gauge via the success stories. If we identify a gap and the gap is filled and then we start seeing results, we view that as a success story. Now, one milestone I can say is the training and mentorship with the CHPs. That one, our CHP can attest to that.
We did, we actually did.
And then I think the number of access to contraceptives has increased. You know, Madam Kiplai. Yeah, now our gap was people are not accessing these services. Now they're accessing it using our advocacy methods and ways and interventions. And to us, that is also a success, a milestone to us. And then we are also advocating for this youth-friendly center. We've been advocating for long youth-friendly center with youth-friendly services, but up to now bado hatujapata, but we're still following up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there is, if I can just say, there is progress. In the last 2 weeks, I was in Michimeru Health Center.
Model health.
And I was really, really happy to see there is a poster, even posted on our Twitter, there is a poster written, "We offer youth-friendly services." And from that facility, I feel like it is a progress. Yeah, so...
Maybe I can pick up on that. Of course, we all know in the county we don't have any standalone youth-friendly center. I just want to mention this, that there are various models of youth-friendly services. There's the standalone, there's the integrated, we even have virtual nowadays. Yeah. So like if you walk into any of our facilities, we may not have that specific room for youth.
Yeah.
But we have worked so hard as a department, of course with the support of the executive, with the office of the executive, the governor of budgetary allocation. We have empowered our healthcare providers. So you walk into a room, that healthcare provider is able to offer a variety of services. So they can give the contraceptives, they can do pregnancy tests, they can do those other things, but within that integrated setup. So, and then another thing that is happening within the county is that the county is in conversation. In fact, this is at an advanced stage with one of our partners to support at least every ward in the county with one youth-friendly center. We are hoping that once that picks up, then we shall be able to even reach our young people. And then again, we appreciate the fact that the county has put up many new facilities. And one of the challenges the young people usually face is the distance to the facilities. So the more the facilities, the shorter the distance to the facility, and the better the access to services. So we are hoping that as we move forward as a county, more and more facilities will be coming up, and the young people will be closer and closer to the services.
There's also one other milestone, male involvement. We used to advocate for so long for involvement, to see champions for contraception, and it's working because nowadays at facilities we have partners accompanying their partners to the clinics to access these services, and there are also male contraceptive champions even in the network. Are you a champion for vasectomy?
Yes, I am.
For vasectomy?
Yes.
Yeah, actually yesterday we had a visitor in the office, Maureen, she's from Maristop, and she was telling us that they were having a service at the facility where they were giving out contraception, and they were encouraging even men. And she said that for men it is a challenge more so in Bungoma County because you can find that only one man is willing to have vasectomy.
But how many contraceptive are there for men as compared to female? We have a variety, but for men, I feel like
Maybe I could say something on that. First of all, you mentioned something about what Maristops is doing. In the last almost 1 year, there has been a change in trajectory. There's been a shift in paradigm. There's been a paradigm shift in Bungoma County regarding permanent methods. We have been supported by Maristops, and we've been doing BTL and vasectomy camps in all our sub-county hospitals. Just last week, we had one in Naitiri where we had 14 clients, and that includes vasectomy. I'm not going to say anything about this, but for us, this is history in Bungoma, that now men are able to embrace. Yeah? We are not expecting 100 of them at a go, but just that one achievement.
It is a milestone.
It's great. And we want to say this. We are saying we want to engage our men, not just involving them. Let's engage the men.
Yes.
I know the variety for men is a bit limited. Of course, we have vasectomy, we have the condom. Yeah. But we not only want men to use the contraceptives, but we also want them to support their partners. When the client uses the method with the support of the client, usually there is a lot of satisfaction. When there are side effects, they are able to get that support from the partner.
They understand
And
it.
they tend to use the methods for a longer period. So we are encouraging the partners, whether married or not married, when the client comes for the first session, come together. We talk to you about these methods, so that when your partner says, today I'm having this, I'm having a heavy flow, or I'm having, you understand that it is a normal occurrence, and you are able to support them. So it is engagement. We want you to take up the methods. We want you to support your partners.
Yes.
And we are hoping that, medicine is dynamic. Research is going on. We are hoping that in future we'll be able to expand your choices. The other day there was a talk about a contraceptive injection for men, which is undergoing research in the US. Of course, that is not for now, but we are hoping that in future there will be pills for men, there will be implants for men, there will be injections for men, so that if you feel now this time I think I'm tired, Baba Toto can go for that. I can also do a break a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Baba Toto wewe. Yeah, and of course that even brings the couple closer. Yani inaongeza mapenzi kwa nyumba.
Important information. Hata hawa vijana wetu wanatusaidia kushape behind the scenes. I know they're going to spread the word. So as we come towards the end of this podcast, I understand that this conversation is a wide conversation. It should not just end in closed doors. It should reach the high decision makers. It should reach those tables where decisions are made, so that you can have a lot of investment in family planning. So what can be your rallying call, even beyond this podcast? What can be your rallying call?
Kwanza mimi, there are some challenges I think I would first want to put out. Because I'm on the ground, I can talk of what I actually see. Unlike maybe someone who can just receive the same from office somewhere. Unapoenda kwa watu, challenges like for example of this contraception, kwa tunasema kwamba some negative impacts on the female gender kama amechukua sindano ama nini. In most cases mimi nimepata complaints, some real complaints kwamba mtu ameshindwa nayo, but all we are trying to find out is that sometimes when someone goes for the first time, there are some negative consequences, yes, but it takes some time to become body friendly. Then thereafter this person will work safely. So we usually sometimes also encourage them to continue for some time until it has become, sababu kitu kigeni kikiingia kwa mwili kutakuwa na reaction, na mara nyingi ni hivyo inafanyika. Alafu the other challenge also is about condoms, because as we said, there are also some part of this contraception we do give. Kwa mfano kama condoms sisi tuko nazo, tunapeana. But now the challenge is, the female gender in most cases is what's affected in this teenage pregnancy, and it does in like 90%. They don't decide when or even whether the condom has to be used. Yani wanaongeleshwa yes kwa ungwana after some time, but wanapofika pengine just some 2 to 3 minutes to the event, unakuta kwamba kuna lazima fulani pia. So sometimes hata kama alikuwa amekubaliana kwamba itaenda kutumika reaching there, it goes something different. Na unajua kwamba pia kuna hawanakosa uwezo wa kueleza vizuri what goes on. Unajua sababu in most cases they will be blamed kwamba ulienda nini. So that's what happens inatendeka. We have them, but they are not being utilized vizuri sana. With these female condoms nazo ni challenge kidogo, sababu inahitaji preparation ya muda mrefu na kadhalika, na pia inahitaji mtu mwenye ujuzi, and it's also expensive and it's not easily available. Now like to these juniors of ours, they cannot get them. So hiyo inakuwa pia ni changamoto kidogo, which we are also getting. Lakini pia maelezo, what we are just was trying to explain, I think is the best way, because information can help someone even abstain. You know, the number one contraception is just avoiding the thing. You know, when you don't get. But then, you know, we are coming in with these all other interventions when you have already done, you see. Sasa tunapofikia hapo, nafikiria hizo challenges mbili tatu zinatusumbua sisi kwa ground kidogo. But as we are now given permission to go to some institutions, as I was saying, last time I was in school, like now even on Friday morning, I'm organizing again to go to another facility. We are telling them the reception we are getting is positive, and we look at it, we are engaging the staff, we are engaging the health caregivers from the facility. Kwa hivyo hilo jambo mlikuwa mnasema pia kuhusu mambo ya sheria kwamba mambo ya kuwekea mtoto contraception sijui nini inakuwa kisheria inasumbua kidogo. Well, ilikuwa yes, but kuna definition fulani zenye zinaweza pia kufanya jambo lingine. Ukidefine kwa njia fulani ilikuwa kosa, lakini ukidefine kwa njia fulani inakuwa sawa. Like kwa mfano unaona sasa, like hata sasa hizi kuna watoto wanapata mimba mapema, but kama hawezi kuwa na uwezo wa kuzaa, sometimes wanaweza kumsaidia hiyo mimba kama hawezi kuilea akaitoa katika njia nzuri kwa hospitali. Lakini ikiwa kwa mfano mama yake ama mtoto mwenyewe ako na hatari ya afya, but initially tulikuwa tunafikiria wakisema hatari ya afya tulikuwa tunafikiria labda ya kimwili tu, but hii hatari ya kiafya inaweza kuwa hata psychological. So hiyo inasaidia kwamba mtu anapokuwa hataki mimba, huyu mtu already ako katika hatari. Na anapokuwa anaelezwa vizuri kabisa ama anaeleza hatari yake vizuri na ieleweke na health caregiver mzuri, ni sawa saitiwa. So if that is also acceptable, like it's acceptable now, inaweza kuwa vizuri sana, and we are doing it in a good way. So ujumbe ulisema tuseme nini? Mimi ningependa tu kuomba labda wahusika, now that we have Madam Kiplay around, tunataka tu kuomba wahusika kutusaidia labda tuweke hii mambo kwa serikali pia, so that if the county government or the national government in any way can also infuse the same in the schools, so that ikuwe tu ni jambo kwamba tukienda shule sisi tunauliza labda tuchengwe kidogo nini, ikuwe tu inatakikana hata iende kwa shule, because in most cases hao wasichana wote wako shuleni. You know, getting them elsewhere is not very much easy, and going to churches in most cases, mambo ya kanisa nayo pia unajua imani ni tofauti. Ukieleza mtu mambo ya contraception kwa kanisa, ama labda mtu amepata mimba na inataka na sijui nini, hamwezi elewana. But kama inaweza tu kuwekwa shuleni vizuri, iwe tu ni programu ya shule, inaweza kuwa vizuri zaidi, na tutapata watoto kama wajaribika. Na pia tuanze wakiwa wachanga, because like survey tulikuwa tunaona kwamba like 19 to 24 years waka aware kabisa where they can access these SRH services. Like from 15 to 19 you get around 50%, you know that. But from 10 or 11 to around 14 there, hawajui kabisa. You can get even less than 7%, who knows. Na mtu anaharibika kwanza ndiye aende sasa ajue. So if it's important we know, we let them know before they have gone wrong, so that they can begin going right from the onset. Na hapo itakuwa vizuri sana, tutakuwa wengi, alafu tutaweka kwa njia vizuri, na wewe pia wenyewe wataambiana. What I've learned of recent is that when you tell them and when they access any information, they don't just keep quiet with the same. They go on telling others. You know, they educate wenyewe kwa wenyewe wakiendelea, and that's what we have seen happening. So naomba tu waiweke iwe jambo linakubalika kwa shule na kwa institutions zingine zote, hata kwa makanisa, because there kuna sheria za nchi. Hata kwa makanisa iwe inaweza ileweka kwamba si kose tu wanamkosea mtu, lakini wanajaribu kusave wale watu wenye wako. Na pia waondoe situation fulani yenye inaleta matatizo. Asante.
Yeah, so what Faris is saying is very important. Me personally, nilisoma about reproductive health when I was in Form 3 and biology. Lakini we didn't go into deep. So I think what he's saying, they should allow that information to be freely in school. Instead of watch a situation yaribike, that is when they start bringing in. And it is a very important point.
Prevention is better than cure.
Yeah, prevention is better than cure. So, Sophie, what is your rallying call?
Okay, for me, first of all, I'd like to thank Madam Kiplay and her team. She's been working very closely with RMNCH and putting into consideration our needs as youth. And my parting shot is to my fellow youth, kindly please, msikubali kuwa misinformed. Okay, msikubali kuwa misinformed. please, if you want to access a certain contraception method, go to a healthcare provider. A healthcare provider, I don't mean when they necessarily kwa facility. There are CHPs nowadays. You can visit them. You can talk to them, wakwambie the right information on the kind of contraception that you need to use, and then from there we can avoid so many things kama unsafe abortion. Yeah, so my youths, kindly, najua saizi social media is a normal norm to us. So such things pia unaweza pata online. Through our tweets, as a youth advocate, we advocate for the right use of contraception through Twitter. You can get information there from RMNCH network. Yeah, and that will be good. Happy World Contraception Day.
Asante sana. Now we can listen from Oga at the top. Madam Kiplai.
Thank you.
So what can be your rallying call about stockouts? What can we do? What can we say so that we don't face those challenges?
Before I go to my rallying call, I just want to respond to Fares. Fares, there is a school health policy in place, and we work very closely with the Department of Education. Of course, there may be challenges here and there, but we work closely with them, and we usually get an opportunity to get into schools. And for the policy, it is very clear. At the school level, you just give information. We don't go to schools with the samples. We don't go to school with the methods. We give information. That is the farthest we can go. And then now, from that information, then the particular individuals can decide whether they want to come to the facility for services or if they have questions. Of course, when we talk about services to the young people, even counseling is a service. The young people are going through a lot of difficulties, especially issues around mental health. And we are seeing a lot of them committing suicide. They're doing a lot of, making very wrong decisions. So when they come to the facilities, we have people who are ready to work with them. And we have worked closely with the teachers. We have trained some of the teachers, especially the GNC teachers, so that they are able to identify any young person with the challenges, especially around mental health and issues of contraception, pregnancy, and the rest. So when such issues come up, we are able to network with them to ensure that the young people get what is rightfully theirs. Yeah. Then on my parting shot, I know there are challenges in terms of supplies, and as a department, our CECM, our chief officer, our director, and the rest of the team are very committed to ensure that the department has the right quantities of commodities at the right time. They have the right manpower in terms of the numbers, the right manpower in terms of skills. So the department is investing heavily on that. And it is our hope that even as we move forward, we shall be able to get an increase in the budgetary allocation so that we can be able to actualize all what that we are planning for the department. My final word to the young people: ujana ni moshi. Ujana ni moshi, and it comes only once in a lifetime. So the choices you make when you are young will definitely be impacting on your entire life. We are here, we are available as a team. Up to level 1, that is the community. We have an empowered team, including the community health promoters. I'm just calling upon them to utilize the resources that the county government of Bungoma has made available for them, to help them make better choices, to help them make a better tomorrow for them, because these are the tomorrow of Bungoma County. The choices they make will not just impact on them as individuals, it will impact on us as a county, it will impact on us as a country. So, and we would want to give them a platform to enable them to make the best choices. Okay? So we are calling upon them, please talk to us, come to us. We shall be able to have a structured conversation and help them make better decisions for a better tomorrow.
Yes.
Sawa. And we also appreciate the entire team, right from Ramka. Ramka has been very supportive. We look forward to even scaling higher heights.
Exactly.
We appreciate the good work that is being done by our CHPs.
Thank you.
You are indispensable, and we are looking forward to even making access to contraception to the people of Bungoma, not just the women, the entire population of Bungoma should be able to have a choice. They should be able to, in tandem with the theme of this year, they should be able to make their choices. We should also be able to give them the power to plan. And finally, we should give them the space to plan, and they should also be given the power to choose. So when you come, I want Depo-Provera, it is available. I want a vasectomy, it is available. So that is what the desire of the governor, the desire of the entire executive, that we give the best quality of services to the people of Bungoma. And we are going to actualize that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I just want to say is happy World Contraception Day. We have a right to choice.
Yes.
And no child should come to this world at an accident.
Yes. Amen.
Every child should come in at the right time
Yes.
and at the right place.
Yes.
Okay? Because we all know when a child is rejected right from the womb, that spirit of rejection will follow them
Wherever they go.
Yeah, and we don't want that kind of thing. Let them come at the right time when our young people are done with their studies, when our young people have laid a foundation to achieve their dreams. We would want to see Bungoma County competing with the rest of the counties. When there are job opportunities, wakisema we want 5 professors. Tunasema Bungoma we have 20.
Yes.
We are offering 20.
Really possible.
We wouldn't want to see a situation where our girls have certificates za class 8 and a baby to show. No. We want a situation where we are competing with the rest of the county. Yeah. The rest of the country, I mean.
That
Yeah.
is good.
So, thank you. Otherwise, thank you everybody for the good work. Let's have a blessed World Contraception Day, and let's allow our young people, our women and men to make their right reproductive choices. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm just in awe. This was such a worth conversation. Na Madam Kiplay ametuongelesha kama watoto. Amesema ujana ni moshi. We are determinants of our future. Yeah. We can make our future bright or dark. So let us always be keen to make informed decisions that will contribute positively to our future. I really appreciate everyone who made their time to have this conversation. Madam Kiplay, asante sana. It is such a great honor to have you here. Paris, asante sana.
Thank you too.
Yeah, and Sophie, asante sana. We really appreciate you. And as Ramka, we shall continue pushing for this agenda so that we can have youths who are in control of their future. We don't want the youths wamalizie maisha yao in such level zenye ziko chini kama class 8 because of issues of teen pregnancy. We want a woke generation wenye wako, they have their future in their hands and they can make a good choice with it. So thank you so much and happy World Contraception Day.
Wow. Thank you.